I'm not gonna mention it. There's like a lullaby book that's like go the to sleep, but
wait, what?
I don't know if I'm allowed to swear.
Oh, okay.
Like
okay.
it's like a book.
Oh, actually, no.
I think
have heard of this. I have heard of this. I think.
Really?
Yeah, and there's like a very peaceful narration by like Morgan Freeman or something.
What is up, inspectors? Are we the over-inspectors? Well, anyways, I think we're the over-inspectors. We figured this out before, but I already forgot. But welcome to the Overinspected Podcast, the greatest beekeeping podcast in the world, in the galaxy, in the universe. And you know what? It's going to stay that way, baby.
I love how like that's our tagline now. It's like the subtitle, like Overexpected, the greatest beekeeping podcast in the world.
It's just the branding. So at some point, the YouTube algorithm is going to pick it up, and every time you search greatest beekeeping podcast, it's gonna
wait a second. I should put that in the description of every single video.
I know.
Yeah,
we're also the most humble podcast hosts in the world.
Oh yeah, man. Ooh, we're so humble. But anyways. I am one of your hosts, Michael Chai, and together with us once again we have Manu and Carrie somewhere on your screen if you're watching the YouTubes. But yeah, this episode, it'll be a little bit of a future forecasted episode, a future sight episode. If you play Pokemon, you'll know that move. It's an ite move. Future sight, it's trash. Anyways,
it's a terrible move.
Yeah, it's a terrible move.
Just use psychic.
Just use psychic. But in today's episode, we're going to be talking about some nationals predictions, worlds predictions, including like who we think is going to win. But also, I kind of wanted to start off this podcast a little bit not on those big competition spectrums, but more so on how the competitions are divided in terms of importance and bigness is probably the best way to put it. Importance. So obviously we're at our local levels, and we have a worlds level. We have the continental level, and the nationals will be at the national level. But what about everything in between? Well, I mean, actually, there's probably only one thing that's recognized that's an in-between, which is regional levels. So regional championships have been a thing since, I believe, 2018. Organized, hosted, at least in the USA, by Keeping USA, with the support of some sub-regional organizations now that may or may not be recognized. But yeah, we're going to talk about Western Championships a little bit too, because I thought it was interesting to talk about the fact that this psych sheet looks stupid. Did you guys know that...
Is this for Western?
For currently, there are 9 spots remaining as of the recording of this podcast. Did you guys know that the 50th person on the 3x3 psych sheet, take a wild guess what the average is?
Well, I have it up here. So.
I just looked. I shouldn't have looked.
Oh no!
Right, if you guys looked, it's 887 for you guys who didn't know.
Yeah.
So that is pure sub 9, and it, like, poor me. I'm hanging out with 53rd, dude. Like, it is actually shameful.
Dude, at least you're top 100. How far
for nationals? Guess what the average is for 50th for nationals?
I didn't look recently, but I think it's sub 7.
No way.
It sounds sub 7.
It's really close.
7.5.
7.03.
Wait, that's
703?
Crazy. What?
Oh my god.
So that means 50 people essentially have a sub 7 average at US Nationals 2023.
That's mind blowing.
Manu, do you want to pull up what's top 50 for Worlds?
Okay, yeah.
It's got to be at least 6.5.
Should I guess?
You think at least 6.5 or at most 6.5?
I'm thinking 6.5 is the threshold. You can guess, Carrie.
I'll guess 6.6.
Okay, Carrie's guessing 6.6. Chai's guessing 6.5. We're looking at top 50.
Yeah,
can you believe
Worlds?
Can you believe a 0.1 difference is not trivial at this competitive level? Like, it's actually going to make a difference.
Oh yeah, I'm not surprised. I feel like...
Wait. So, sorry. Chai gets 6.5. Carrie gets 6.6.
Yeah.
Split the difference. 6.55.
Is it really?
Is it
actually? Yeah, it's actually 6.55.
It reminds me of the wisdom of the crowds idea. It's like if you pull a whole bunch of people and then average their guesses, what each individual person will be dumb. that you take the average and it's actually quite accurate.
Which is
Dude,
so I think this is really cool. And worlds, I guess, makes a lot of sense to look at because also like so the top 50th person in the world has a WR ranking of 82, which is I think is really cool.
That is cool. It's crazy.
Oh,
it's
wow,
crazy.
So 50 of the top 82 people ever are going to be all in one place.
Right.
So for comparison, back to Western Championships, if we use that statistic, 50th place is currently their average ranks 1,630th in the world.
Well, that
Which
makes
is
sense because
not as
it's like a sub-regional part of one country, so it shouldn't be attracting as many people.
Well, still,
No, yeah.
I mean, still think about it, right? That means 50 of like the top like roughly like 1,600 of the best cubers ever are at this competition. I think that's kind of crazy because if you think about like a percentage wise, what percentage is that? Like 1 in 32? 1 in 32.
Well,
I don't know how to do that division.
I feel like 1 in 32 is not that crazy because like 1 in 32 of the cubing community is definitely in the Western US.
Really? You think so?
Well, I think even more than that. I mean, like, okay, this is not cubing related, but I would say like 1 out of 3 tech startups is in the Western US in the world.
Okay, I mean,
so it's like there's a lot of bias.
Okay, I guess that's true.
And I think the Western US is like has a disproportionately high chunk.
I guess you're right actually, because probably like the only thing that can compete, at least within the states itself, the only thing that can compete with probably even just California is Northeast. That's the only place I can think of that might have more cubers.
Yeah. The Northeast has a huge demographic of cubers. I think I don't know if it's changed much over the years, but the Northeast used to be quite dominant in terms of I guess population. Probably like 3, 4, 5 years ago. I don't know if it's changed, but what I do know is that our competitions here, generally speaking, are always capping out at like 125 minimum competitions. And you just don't see that every day. You see like championship level competitions that are locals. We don't do a lot of those. I am interested in hosting much larger comps, but yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, I guess I kind of wanted to talk about Westerns a little bit too, because Overinspected, part of Cubers Live. What is Cubers Live doing? We're going to be streaming it. We're going to be taking care of everything on there. But yeah, I don't know. Obviously, I'm organizing it. I'm organizing it with Anto, and then Cubers Live is also listed as pretty much an organizer. Well, Manu is listed as an organizer.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know. If you guys have ever organized a competition of like this level, we all know like it takes a ton of work to really get much of that done. So I guess just wanted to highlight that. We got some. There's nothing else on Western Champs. So like obviously Max is gonna win 3x3. He's gonna win the cubic puzzles. There's nothing much to talk about there. It's a race for second and third.
Are we diving into predictions? I guess yeah. Like it's if Max is like guaranteed to win, which I think he has like a 99% chance, we could predict the podium.
Do you guys want to predict the? How about this? Instead of predicting the podium, let's place wagers on who's going to come in second place for Western Championships.
Interesting.
Second place.
Interesting. Well, I'm a big fan of the hometown crew, so give me
Heidi Chan.
Give me Varun. I'll take Varun.
You'll get Varun. Varun's a really good pick. What about you, Carrie? Who do you think's gonna get second place?
Oh man, 'cause the thing is like everyone who isn't Max Park is kind of close. Like there's like the averages are all like low 6. I'll go with Max. How to pronounce his last name? Shaw.
Shaw. Yeah.
Because like I know that he also has like world records in other events, so you know that means he can occasionally whip out like a really fast time here and there.
Man, I don't know. Max Xiao is a good pick.
Yeah.
Varun is also a great pick, dude. Varun is unbelievably fast.
Varun could go off.
Man, you know what? I might have to do it. I'm a pick
are you gonna pick the same person? You have to pick someone else to keep it exciting.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, there's no rule, of course.
Ah man, I'm trying to think of who's been practicing.
Oh, that's right. That's something that I should have also.
Oh,
considered.
yeah.
I guess I'll pick Heidi Chan. I'm gonna have Heidi come in second place.
Dude, Heidi's a great pick.
I think Heidi's a really good pick because, like, when we interviewed
it's gonna
her,
require, but it's gonna, yeah. When we interviewed her, she said that she couldn't really get her results that she wanted. Like,
but she also talked about how like a sub-6 average was one of her goals, and she was gonna keep trying until she got it. So that means like she's not like a retired cuber, someone else on this list, or someone who got like a really good average like years ago, but hasn't gotten close to that since. I wasn't like referring to any single person there.
I think I'm gonna pick Heidi. If it's gonna require Heidi to be on her A game, and she probably knows that, but I think she might be able.
She has a chance. She has a chance. And the sleeper pick, can never discount good old Christian. Dude, that kid.
My boy Christian.
Oh man, dude. Always a pleasure
he has
to
a
have him back in the
6.3
area.
average. Is that new? Because that seems like really fast.
He got faster since he left.
Because he's in the Northeast now.
the
He has to compete. He has to compete
Oh,
against all those crazy people.
Christian is our casual trader.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he got 6.34 twice, and it's like 2023, so this is very recent.
Yeah, never count on Christian, man. That kid is special.
Never.
Yeah. A fun fact about this psych sheet, because we haven't seen him in a while, but Will Newhoff, he was 16th place. He was the 16th person to make it to 3x3 finals in Nats 2019. So and I think his average was pretty much the same. 7.33 was probably his PR. I don't remember what the last time he broke his PR, but he got like a 7.5 or something. Anyways, for nationals, let's see where that would put him now on a psych sheet. 7.3. It'll probably be pretty far down the list.
Well, we know
actually no, it wouldn't be that far.
703 is top 50, so 733 is 70. It's 72.
Lord, that's not even close to 16.
That's absurd, man.
So 16 is actually Max Xiao. So that was only 4 years ago when Will Newhoff made finals. So,
but a lot of these averages are like the best they've ever done.
Right.
And like they're not going to be able to pull that every single time.
So, I mean, it's still insane. Honestly, it's still insane how much D improvement has happened. All right.
I know.
So, let's see. Manu, you picked Varun.
I picked Varun for second.
You picked Max Xiao.
So it's going to be a Max podium, and then I'm going to pick Heidi. I'm going to be honest. Honestly, Max, Heidi, Max in some order might be the podium.
Yeah.
Or it might be Max, Varun. Shoot, it might be Max, Samir. Who knows?
Yeah, also very possible.
Samir is very fast. Yeah, don't count out Samir. I feel like somehow we all counted out Samir.
I feel like it's harder for Samir because he's not in our region, so we don't necessarily know exactly like. It's hard to like kind of like adjudicate exactly like what his practice levels are like.
It's interesting. I associate Max and Samir together, Max Xiao, because they're both in the PNW.
Oh, that's
they're
true.
just like bound at the hip, pretty much, like their results too, like including the Squan results. I think they're bound by the hip.
Oh, huh.
Oh yeah, like they were going back and forth with the world record average for Squan.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say like maybe one reason we didn't pick Samir is not because of anything about him, but more that like picking second place as your prediction for who you think will get second is kind of like a boring pick because that just means you think the cards will play as they have already played.
Right.
It's like we want to pick for the underdogs.
And hey, like we always say in Cubers Live, anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
That's true.
Would love to see some world records. Love to see some world records.
I would go crazy for some world records.
It would go.
Imagine getting some world records live on stream, man. That would be fantastic. I'd love it.
Yeah, love it. Love to see it. What if Max got the 3x3 world record again?
Oh my goodness, mind blowing.
Average or single?
Either.
Mind blowing.
The single is so beatable now.
I know, like
it's insane. The single 3.47 so beatable.
Oh yeah.
But when
it's
when
within
it first
striking
happened,
range
we
now.
were like, we have to wait 5 years before it starts getting beatable again. Well, we did the waiting.
Yeah, exactly.
And-
We're here
and
now.
The beatability is back.
You know, our timeline is correct because I remember when it happened, this would not be broken in like half a decade, like for sure. 3.47, you could not imagine, even with a PLL skip, getting a 3.47.
Yeah, because the second fastest at the time was Felix Zemdeg's 4.22. Oh, I just checked. Felix is out of the top 10 for a 3x3 single. And that's the first time he's been out of the top 10 for
because top 10 I
like,
think is sub 4.
over a decade.
I think top 10 is sub 4 or top 8 at least.
Well, it's no, top 8 or yeah, because Madi Hiroto Inaba is 10th with 4.13, and then Felix is 11th with 4.16.
Speaking of Maddie, that's a good transition to US Nats because one of the prominent Western keepers that we mentioned that we didn't mention in Western Championships, Maddie, he's not going to West Champs, but he's going to Nationals and he's going to Worlds. So kind of pivoting to Nationals. Now here's where it gets a little bit dicey. There could actually be someone that beats Max this year in Nationals. Yeah. And Worlds is obviously is going to be even more beatable.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about 3x3 boys, do you guys have a pick yet for who you think is going to win US Nationals 2023?
So I was actually gonna go out on the limb. I was gonna say Maddie. Honestly, I was gonna be like, you know what? I could totally see it happening. The kid is talented. He's a great kid. Also, he takes it so seriously, and I think it is possible for the cards to work out where Maddie manages to pull it out, and that'd be so cool. It'd be so cool to see.
Yeah. What do you think, Harry?
Yeah. Well, in the spirit of not picking the same person, I'll go with Luke Garrett because I know he's gotten like 2 averages that are like 5.0 something, which is like pretty incredible. Or I guess 520 and 503.
Luke Garrett somehow is not the right way to describe it, but I wouldn't necessarily say for certain people would describe Luke as a top 5 cuber. They wouldn't describe Luke as a top 5 cuber maybe last 6 months ago. Maybe not. Maybe last year.
Well, yeah.
But he somehow solidly put himself in the top 5.
It's crazy because I remember when I think it must have been 2020 or 2021 when he was on the up and up. I remember because we used to joke that there were like 2 Luke G's going around. It's like,
I know.
It's like I should just change my name to Luke G. Maybe I'll be better down too.
Yeah, I'll be Luke G too.
Yeah, like we can all be Luke G.
We'll all be Luke G.
I forget. Was Luke Garrett the one who was on Monkey League?
I think they were both.
Or was
on
it
Monkey
Luke
League.
Racer?
Both
they were
of them
both.
I don't remember.
I just remember like they were against whoever the fastest was at the time, and like Timon or something, and I just thought like, oh, they have no chance.
But here's the thing, that was maybe 2 years ago when that was still a big deal, but that was at a time where he was still like improving, and like there was a degree of separation between him and the top 2, and unfortunately is a terrible word. Unfortunately for Luke, there's another cuber that has solidly put himself in the Max Timon category.
Yi Hung Wang.
Yeah, but obviously he's faster than them. So like last year that wasn't a thing, right? But yeah, I think Luke solidly put himself on the same skill cap level as Max and Timon, which is insane because that gap was pretty huge at the time. Like the closest person to like those 2 is probably Maddie, but yeah, Luke Garrett like just closed the gap hella fast.
Yeah, I remember like when let's see. I remember he got like a 599 average, and then like I blinked, and then it was suddenly 520. Because like I feel like, you know, as you drop seconds, like each second matters more and more, and I think the difference between like 599 and 499 is just enormous. So like,
yeah,
it's kind of incredible how that happened.
I mean, at the game that we're playing, like even like a 1/10 of a second is a huge improvement to make.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's just crazy. Like, I don't think if you asked most people, if you said, was he on the same level as Max and Timon, that you would agree to that, or like you would say yes. Now you can say yes. And his niche is just as his TPS is max park level. Insane TPS, insane look ahead.
Hats off to him, man. I think it's such an awesome story. So I think he deserves all the best coming towards him.
See, I think obviously there's gonna be a lot of pressure, which is part of the thing where I don't think people are actually going to perform very well. That's very typical of US Nationals, actually. It's typical for US Nationals for people to not get great averages.
Is it?
Yeah, it's very typical. I think Maddie won with a 6.2 last year in NAC.
I guess, yeah, like if you want to be really accurate with your predictions, you could like create a model that not only takes in like just the average of all the times, but also like whether they tend to skew worse at big competitions because of nerves.
Oh man, dude, who am I gonna pick? You picked Maddie. I'm very close to just picking Maddie because he's my favorite cuber. Let's just put it that way. Maddie's my favorite cuber. But for the sake of predictions, truthfully, I'm gonna pick my old favorite cuber, Sunghook Nam.
Interesting.
I'm gonna pick Sunghook Nam because Sunghook Nam is God to me in a lot of ways. He was so good before he had to like take a
Go
little
to the military.
Yeah, a little sabbatical. He was supposed to.
Is that why he took a break? Is because of
he had to
military
fulfill
service?
his
I see.
Also, look, like he's probably not going to be at that same average level of like, can he get a 5.5? Probably not. Can he get a 5.4? Probably not. Can he get first place in any of the rounds? Maybe not. But one thing that Sunghook Nam has going for him is his competition experience. So that's why if you were to pick anyone here, a really good pick too is Patrick Ponce. Just to be able to perform under the pressure, because there's a lot of pressure. It's going to be streamed per usual. You're going to actually have an entire audience looking at you. And the reason why I think it matters is I think, guys, Sunghook Nam was supposed to win Worlds 2017.
Right.
Oh, and there's a timer reset.
In
right?
dramatic fashion.
That was, it was actually dramatic. Like, it was just crazy. And then
I still feel like, I don't know if butthurt is the right word, but like I still can't believe that like that has an effect and there's no redos.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, because I think if you get in finals, if you get a 5.8, you'll probably get a really good chance of winning the event. And that includes Max Park, to be honest.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah. Like, it's still very likely that no one pulls a sub-6 average.
Like, at the end of the day, one fumble is all it takes for a 4-second solve to turn into a 6-second solve. That's all it takes. And that's one solve. And then you're going to have to do 5 of them. So, if you get a 5.8, you got a good chance. And I think 5.8 is beyond doable for Sunghook Nam. It's beyond repeatable. He could probably repeat 5.8. Like, there are a lot of good competitors who could probably get 5.8. Everyone in the top 10 can 5.8 right now. Like Dylan Miller, he could definitely 5.8. It's just whether he can execute it in that last round. You don't know. So for me, I'm gonna pick Sunghook Nam. That's the other thing about Maddie. Maddie does really well under pressure, in my opinion. Like he could do, like he's not like the best in the world at pressure, but Maddie's good at it.
Yeah. I mean, Maddie's built up, I guess, like his resilience to pressure over the last couple of years, and I would expect that like now he's probably like even stronger against like the nerves and stuff than he was before. So
yeah, and to highlight 5.8, like Heidi, who's listed 20th on the psych sheet, she could 5.8. So like there's a lot of competitors who could, in theory, the game is wide open. Like there's a lot of cubers you could pick here.
It's anyone ranked from like 10th to 20th, like we're probably not even looking at, but they could come out of left field.
Yeah,
like a dark horse.
I feel like that happens so often sometimes. It's just like, everyone is really focused on this one person, and then someone else will just kind of
reminds me like this is a super Yeah, this, like a super throwback, but in 2014 when Colin Burns won U.S. Nationals, like I think that's the first time I heard his name, and I was like, who is he? And then he got a world record later. But like, you know, it's like if the stars align and like someone is on their best game, whereas all the top players are kind of like in their mid game, that can happen.
For sure.
And you know what?
And I think the stars are likely to align for because the one half is almost guaranteed. The top 10, they're not going to get PBs there. Like they're going to perform markedly worse. So you just need to fulfill the other half is get a good average.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know what
Easier
they say?
said than done, though.
Well, that's also true. You know what they say though? Diamonds are made under pressure. So some people thrive in the pressure situation. So
that's true. Yeah.
You know,
like,
some people can like use that like negative for other people and take that and turn that into a plus for them, which is like the doubly effective, right?
Yeah. Like, I do wonder. I don't think there are that many cubers that like do better than their at-home average in competition. Maybe for like big cubes, it happens more.
I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
If you guys feel like there was a betting pool, who do you think would be the odds-on favorite? Do you think Max Park would be the odds-on favorite for US?
I think so.
Like he'd be over like 50. Yeah.
So I mean, like,
yeah, actually,
we've been discussing like all these people, like Maddie, Luke, Nam, but like the only reason we're discussing all these is because we don't want to just say that Max is gonna win, because I think Max is like the favorite. Like it would surprise none of us if Max won, right? And I think most people are probably thinking that will be the case.
I think it's like when you attach money to like the prediction, then the people are less willing to like try wild card guesses, and they'll be like, okay, I'll go back with the Max Park because he's like a safe bet.
Yeah, I agree. I think Max Park definitely the safe bet here. He's got a lot of competition experience too, and you know he's for the longest time he was reputed as the person who did not crack under pressure. So yeah, I don't know. Max Park definitely the good pick for sure. Should be the favorite. I don't think it's questionable. I think Luke G has subtly put himself as the second most likely person to definitely win for sure. Luke G deserves a ton of respect.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see. So for Worlds, it gets really nuts, guys.
Worlds. So I'm looking at the
I'm looking at Worlds right now,
and it's
we have all of the top 10 are going to Worlds, and 18 of the top 20. No, 19 of the top. Which only one person not in the top 20 is not going to Worlds.
I think number 15 is not registered for Worlds. Number 15 and number 18, I believe.
This is, man, this is an insane psych sheet.
Yeah,
God.
That's such high, like, what's the word? Commitment rate. Like, no, like, that few people have, like, other obligations, or, like, you know, if someone's having, like, a wedding, but they're like, nope, cubing competition more important than the wedding.
Yeah, I mean, it's Worlds, man. Like, I really wish I could go to Worlds. Too bad I already went to Korea earlier this year, man. Otherwise, like, it would have been so cool.
Who do you guys think?
Yeah.
Who do you guys think is going to win Rubik's WCA World Championship 2023?
Well, it's interesting because I was gonna say like Yi Hung Wang is probably the best bet. But, like, after he got the 4.69 average, we haven't really heard much from him. So I was thinking, like, oh, maybe he just hasn't competed lately. But he has gone to, three more competitions. And he has gotten, like, really good averages. There's, like, a 509 average, a 511. So I feel like, you know, even though it's boring, I'll still go with Yi Hung Wang for now.
Interesting. I think the stage... I think the stage and stuff is going to matter a lot. Because... I guess Yi Hung has probably gotten kind of used to, like, you know, people are always watching for the WR alert or whatever, right? So I guess he's probably at least somewhat used to that. But I think I'm gonna go with Timon here.
You're going with Timon.
I think it's time for him to crack through the WC, the World Championships, and put the crown on his head. as and you know really cement himself as in like the Hall of Fame basically.
See, I have a working theory about Timon Kolosinski. He's been to a couple competitions and he hasn't gotten the results that he quite wanted. So, I was actually going to pick Timon, but I'm not going to. But the working theory, before he started going on this binge of like rapidly improving his times from like mid fives to what it is now, because he did a rapid, basically we covered this. He did a WR race with Max, like at some point.
Yeah.
Right before that, he wasn't doing too much, and that was like coming right out of the pandemic. But I believe at the time he was practicing like specific things and refining his technique. So, like, and you would see him turning very meticulously. And probably a lot of that has to do with like his pseudo slot practice, is my guess. Because he's really the only cuber that does it as much as he does. And then having like, at the time, it wasn't so obvious, but he did a lot of last layer. He did a lot of EO, ZBLL. So,
yeah.
And then he refined it. His last layer got noticeably faster because he got better. So my working theory is this. He is doing some last minute refinements, practicing in preparation for World Championships.
Just call it black magic, dude.
Like,
Yeah.
I think he's getting not great results at these local comps. Like nothing close to 4.8. Because he's doing some practice.
He's trying stuff out.
He's trying some really advanced techniques that right now will slow him down, but
exactly. Like, that's what I think. That's my working theory. Because dude, Timon be doing black magic stuff.
Like, you know, like let's say there's a scramble that like pseudo slotting just works really well for. You know Timon's gonna do it, and Yi Hung Wang is not going to do it. So like that could, you know, if there's like one solve that like Timon can get like a low 4 on because of that, you know, that could really sway the average.
Yeah. But you know what? You know who I'm gonna pick for Worlds? I think Manu. You said the stage matters. I'm gonna take that same thing from U.S. Nationals. The stage is gonna matter. I don't think you're gonna need a world-beating time. You're not gonna need one. What that means is we're going to have a very, very similar situation to Worlds 2019, where everyone got like a 6.8.
Right.
Oh, right, that.
Where everyone got a 6.8.
Well, it was all like within 0.1 seconds.
That was the last world champion was Sebastian Weyer.
Right.
Wait, no.
Oh,
Philip. Wait, hold on.
Oh, no.
Which one won? Was it Philip? I think Philip won. Wait,
it's crazy. Sebastian is 31st on the psych sheet. That's like crazy because he's so fast.
No, I am pretty sure Philip won.
Okay, wait. Let's look at. I think Philip won.
Yeah, Philip. Sebastian got third. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. So Philip Weyer, he won. Everyone got like a similar average. I think within the top, let's fact check 3x3 podiums. Or not podiums, finals. So Philip got a 6.74. Second, 6.78. Then 6.81, 6.83, 6.84, 6.85. So the top 6 was within 0.11 seconds.
Oh, so, yeah.
I think we're going to have a very similar situation here. And I think the person that's going to come out on top is Maddie, Hiroto, and Nava from Hawaii.
Oh my god.
As the world champion.
I think Maddie is going to become the world champion.
You know, I could see it. And if it happens, like, you can say you called it. Like,
Maddie,
I feel like
you're my boy. Like,
no, I love to see how much support you're putting behind Maddie. It's like a mentor student kind of thing, and like I feel like if there are other podcasts out there making predictions, they're not going to choose Maddie. So like when he does end up winning,
right,
you can dunk on all those other podcasts.
I'm a dunk on all the other podcasts.
You're the one
because we are the greatest speed-giving podcast in the world, baby.
True.
But being the greatest podcast doesn't mean we're the most accurate predictors. But we happen to be both.
We do happen to be both. No, but legitimately, I think Maddie is going to be one of the closest competitors to his meme. Like, I think he's going to perform quite well in terms of like his competition standards. I don't think he's going to deviate a lot when it comes to. That's a great trait from Timon as well. He just doesn't deviate a lot. But I think Matty is he's gonna take the cake.
It would be interesting if the WCA website shows you like standard deviation among their like last 12 averages or something, because I can tell you a lot about like how reliable they are, and like maybe they can really slip up and get like an 8 average, then we probably wouldn't pick them.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I have my doubts about Yiheng and Royhang. I think I think the big stage is going to be a problem, but that's just my 2 cents. I don't think that people going to Worlds for the first time generally do that well. So,
Wait, has Royhang not been to what was their Worlds 2021? Oh no, that got canceled.
The Netherlands, yeah.
It was like the one that's gonna be like December 31st or something.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, maybe they went and maybe they did pretty well for their standards, but they definitely weren't near the top of the crop. And I don't know. I just think, honestly, for Worlds, like, now that we're talking, the class of guys we're talking about, that's where we start to say, like, oh, someone like Sunghook Nam, it doesn't matter how well they do, it might not be within reach for Sunghook Nam. Like, maybe second place, but definitely not first.
Yeah.
But like that's like one of those things where like, damn, this is a class. We got a class of people that are just above everyone else now.
That's true. I think it's also worth mentioning, like, I don't think he's gonna win, but Sean Patrick Villanueva is the one Rue solver who's
is he the only one
in the top 20 for 3x3, because like Rue's good for OH and Rue will probably win OH. I think. Let me see.
You're right. Yeah, I don't see anyone who does Rue. Wait,
actually,
no. Jode Brewster does CFOP. I think.
Yeah, Jode Brewster does CFOP. I saw like his solutions for the 5.72 average, and like.
What about Jerry?
Very interesting.
Who's Jerry Yao?
Jerry Yao. No, he does CFOP also.
He does CFOP.
Yeah, I'll just look at the OH psych sheet for Worlds. Patrick and Max are both CFOPers, but then so it goes. From the top, it's CFOP, Rue, CFOP. Okay, there's a lot of CFOPers at the top.
Yeah, that's kind of surprising. I thought Rue would have taken over.
Hey, shout out to our boy Anto. He might be a sleeper pick for world champion.
Yeah, dude, Anto could maybe win the world championship.
I mean, like, I think anyone could. Oh, is Fami? Fami's not going to be there, so. I think if Fami was there, then he would have like half a chance of winning. Or maybe more.
Yeah. Man, I don't know, but long story short, to all of this fanboying that we're doing right now is this is an insane psych sheet. It is easily the most competitive psych sheet, not based off of official results, but just how close everything is. It is. Well, I mean, unbelievable.
I think it's like the closest. I mean, it kind of has to be, right? When you have like out of like the top 20, I think we said that like, what was it, like 18 of the top 20 like cubers ever are going to this one competition. It's kind of as close as it can be.
I know, yeah.
This is definitely nuts.
Remember the days in like 2013-14 where like Felix was like half a second ahead of everyone else?
Right.
And like even if everyone went, Felix still had like 50% chance of winning. Those days are over.
Yeah, they're gone.
Those days are over. I don't know if that is ever going to come back.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, I think everyone is.
Yeah, so I think those days are gone. But I think that this is good. It's good for cubing to have so many characters and so many people that you can root for, and you know like, and you know these are all like reasonable, like great picks, right? I think that's really, really good that there are so many people who are involved and so many people who are so talented, right? It's just good for the sport.
Yeah,
that's true.
I also kind of like how Worlds kind of feels. I don't remember what the psych sheets looked like before, but in terms of like groups of competitors all competing together, I remember the USA being much more prominent in terms of like groups of competitors within the top 20, top 30, top 40. and now it's incredibly spread out. In fact,
Yeah.
it looks a lot more competitive just from the country perspective. Like, you can take a China team, you could take that Poland team probably, and you can take a Philippines team. You could take all these teams, and like they could really go. There's a Canada team. Like, the Canada team is lit.
I see on
Kyle
like,
Santucci, Brennan Lynn. Yeah, it's the Canada team is lit too, and you know the USA team. Before, you could make like 1 billion USA teams, and they could knock out anybody. Like, you don't even have to take.
Now,
you don't even have to take like the fastest 3. You could just like get an assortment of the USA team members, and they will just crush. Now it's much different for sure.
I would say the USA team could still crush everyone when it comes to square one, but we're talking about 3x3.
Yeah, this is wide open, doors wide open, as Philip
Lewicki would say. Yeah. Maddie's leaving the door wide open.
And like, will Timon be able to respond and jump through the door?
I know. You know, Philip's got to bring back Monkey League.
Dude, Monkey League was pretty lit. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I do love you some Monkey League, and I think there's still a space for it. Don't discount it quite yet. There's still a space for it.
True.
I just think we need to. He needs to get back up and running.
I really feel like the pandemic was like the perfect alignment of like world circumstances for something like Monkey League to really pop off.
You know, I'm gonna be honest. The pandemic is kind of a blessing for the cubing community. It accelerated the development tenfold.
Yeah, a lot of people we had never heard of could practice over the pandemic, and that gave them like a couple years to fully catch up with the rest of the crew.
Yeah.
Pretty much. The pandemic was wild.
It was I guess it was kind of wild for many reasons. But I guess pandemic also was kind of a bit of an equalizer in terms of like cubing, right? Because otherwise you just had like your blue bloods that were just above everyone else, and anyone who was new wanted to get into the community they had to like wait their time, basically, you know. Of course, like, you know, learning resources and all of that stuff has been through the wazoo recently, but even then, like, you still have to, like, because those guys were going to competitions left and right. As a new competitor, you just don't get the opportunity to. So they're just getting solve after solve after solve, whereas you have to wait your turn, and that takes time. But without any competitions, you can just grind all those solves just at home, and then be ready to compete once you get out there.
Nothing to do but practice if you're a kid.
But yeah, I mean,
all right.
Look, looking through the 3 psych sheets, this is gonna be like a very, very fun summer ahead of us in terms of cubing, and I think
this summer will be crazy.
And I think it's gonna be a lot of fun to, like, I guess, you know, for in our case, we have no horse in this race, right? Well, other than Chai being a super fan of Maddie's, but it'll be a boatload of fun to sit back and just watch it all unfold, and I'm really, really looking forward to the Nats and World live streams. Those I'm putting those on during work, just in the background, just to like, you know, just put it on, put it mute, and just check up how are the competitors doing. Yeah, for sure. Well, I hope Worlds aligns decently well with our time. I think it's pretty close to, like, almost. Well, I think I think Korea will be 16 hours ahead of us. So, or is it 20?
What time of day will finals be? Usually like 5 p.m. So 4 p.m.
4 p.m., which I think is like
in Korea. 8 a.m. here. No,
midnight
here.
I think it's midnight. Okay, that's not bad. I mean, that's it's
not bad. Yeah, it's like something to watch before going to bed. You can have the competitors cheering in the background as your lullaby.
If that's what you prefer to listen to when you go to sleep, that's totally cool.
Yeah. Oh god, but you know what else you can listen to while you're going to sleep, boys?
This podcast.
Put it back at the beginning. But this is the end of this podcast. I think we did enough of predictions and stuff like that. I'm really excited. Everyone here is really excited for all these big competitions. No, but yeah, play it back, rewind, comment, like, subscribe. I think I gave the same spiel in the last podcast episode, but you know what?
Yeah, well, I mean that just means you have to do it every single time.
It just means I have to do it every single time, boys.
Okay, no. Here's this. Time. I'd love to hear what the viewers think. Who do they think is gonna win?
Comment.
Who did we snub? Who was our Nats and
like
World Championship snubs? Who should we have mentioned but we didn't? You know, other than Max.
Yeah, and if you're
right, yeah.
If you're watching this after the competitions happen, I'm sure we'll get so many comments being like Manu called it, or maybe like you guys were so dumb. Of course.
Yeah.
Who's the slowest? Of course, David Zemdegs is gonna win the whole
David
thing.
Zemdegs, let's go.
Who's gonna come up from behind?
Hindsight is 2020. No, but if you're a true overinspector, you gotta join me, boys. You gotta join me in supporting Matty Hiroto Inaba. Come on, I want to see those comments.
He got the support.
I love seeing the support. Yeah, Team Matty.
Team Matty, boys.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wait, but we've only covered one of the 17 events. We got to do the other 16. No, we don't.
No, goodness.
I guess we don't know enough about the
3x3 is the
marquee event, right?
The marquee event. It is the event. It is the. I think at the end of the day, this is a valid point. This is the only event that truly is like, I wouldn't say it matters, but it is what defines cubing. So, I think in a lot of ways, that's just a fact of life, fact of cubing. But anyways, we've held on to you guys long enough. Maybe you guys are already asleep, but yeah, we're gonna zone out to some sweet lullabies, baby.
What?
Sweet lullabies. I was trying to think of like lyrics to a lullaby right now. Go to sleep. Oh, you know that.